Car crashes have been an unfortunate reality of the automobile industry since its inception. From high-speed accidents to unexpected collisions, these incidents have claimed countless lives and left many more injured. Do you know which car crash was the most expensive in history? Let's buckle up and take a look at some of the most unforgettable moments in automotive history, from the tragic to the downright bizarre. This accident is proof that even professional drivers can sometimes lose control of a car. 10. Ferrari Enzo. Back in 2006, Bo Stefan Eriksson, who ran failed gaming console business Gizmondo and even raced in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, famously crashed a Ferrari Enzo on a stretch of the Pacific Coast Highway after losing control of the car in a drag race with the driver of a Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. The Enzo, a 2004 model, was split in two and its engine and much of its rear section flung across the road. Incredibly, the car wasn't a complete write-off, as someone restored it and has now sold it at an RM auctions event in Paris for a cool $1.75 million, which was close to the middle of its pre-auction estimate of between $1.6 and $2.2 million. The next video was filmed back in 2011 during the Bull Run Rally, which is supposed to be a gentle cross-country journey for people of means. However, with lots of testosterone and horsepower gathered in a single place, it's not too long before road racing and other illegal activities start. 9. Audi R8 Spider. On a relatively empty stretch of road near Orlando, Florida, the careless driver of the black Audi R8 Spider causes a massive car crash by first hitting a Mercedes SL55 AMG, allegedly belonging to none other than rapper Ice-T, and then an average motorist who had nothing to do with the rally. Last time we checked, overtaking another car in the right lane of a motorway is frowned upon. It's not just the R8's fault, since the Merc is going a little too fast on the inside of the Audi and failed to take heed of his fellow Bull Runner's indicators. But the car involved in this next accident is so rare that the driver regrets it for his entire life. 8. Aston Martin 177. In 2012, a man named Lu Chuk Loon was pushing his Aston Martin 177 to the limit on the streets of Hong Kong when he lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a roadside barrier. The accident was captured on video and it quickly went viral on social media. Lu Chuk Loon was lucky to escape the crash with only minor injuries, but his car was badly damaged. Lu Chuk Loon was driving at breakneck speeds, weaving through traffic like a daredevil when he hit a patch of water on the road. Suddenly, the car spun out of control, careening towards the barrier at an alarming speed. The sound of the impact was deafening, as metal crumpled and glass shattered in a shower of sparks. In the aftermath of the crash, onlookers rushed to his aid, marveling at his lucky escape. The Aston Martin 177, once a symbol of power and prestige, now lay in ruins, a testament to the dangers of reckless driving. The next incident involves a 17-year-old YouTuber named Gage Gillian, who was living every car enthusiast's dream, driving a Pagani Huayra Roadster, one of the most exclusive and sought-after hypercars in the world. 7. Pagani Huayra Roadster. But that dream quickly turned into a nightmare when Gage lost control of the vehicle and slammed into a tree at a high speed, causing the car to disintegrate into a twisted, mangled heap of metal. The crash was so violent that the car's airbags deployed and much of the bodywork was ripped apart, leaving the once pristine vehicle looking like a crumpled piece of paper. Gage, who runs the GG Exotics channel on YouTube, was driving with a fellow content creator in the passenger seat, and they both miraculously survived the crash with only minor injuries. The sight of the Pagani Huayra Roadster, a car that costs millions of dollars and is one of the most exclusive and rare cars in the world, lying in ruins on the side of the road was heart-stopping. The front of the car was completely destroyed, with the hood bent upwards and the bumper smashed beyond recognition. The driver's door lay on the pavement. One or both of the front wheels were completely removed from the chassis, and other carbon fiber bits were scattered across the road like confetti. Next up is the accident that involves one of the most iconic and expensive cars in the world, the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. 6. Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. One owner took his prized Gullwing to a shop that specializes in vintage Mercedes-Benz models for some light repairs and maintenance. Unfortunately, a mechanic lost control of the vehicle at high speed during a test drive, causing significant damage to the nose and some buckling of the roof. Luckily, both the driver and passenger escaped with minor injuries, but the cost of repairs left massive dents in the owner's pockets. This next incident happened when the car was being tested to beat the speed record set by Bugatti Veyron. 5. Koenigsegg Agera RS. The Koenigsegg Agera RS is a hypercar that is known for its incredible speed and power. Unfortunately, in 2017, a Koenigsegg Agera RS was involved in a crash in Nevada that left the car completely destroyed. The driver, who was attempting to set a new speed record, lost control of the car and crashed into a barrier at a high speed. The impact was so severe that the car was torn apart, with the front end completely destroyed and the engine ripped from the chassis. While the driver was lucky to survive the crash, the Koenigsegg Agera RS was left in a mangled heap of twisted metal. The crash was a stark reminder of the dangers of pushing cars to their limits and the importance of respecting the power of these incredible machines. I'm sure everybody knows the next incident that happened in November 2013, which took the lives of actor Paul Walker and his friend Roger Rodas. 4. Porsche Carrera GT. Rodas, who was driving the car, lost control of the Porsche Carrera GT and crashed into a tree at high speed. The impact was so severe that the car burst into flames, leaving both men trapped inside. The car was traveling at over 100 miles per hour when the accident occurred, and investigators believe the speed was a major factor in the crash. The cause of the crash was ultimately determined to be a combination of excessive speed and driver error. The car was in good condition, and there were no mechanical issues that contributed to the accident. The crash of the Porsche Carrera GT was a tragic event that shocked the entertainment industry and fans around the world. This next accident is the answer to our first question, which is the most expensive car crash in history. 3. Pagani Zonda F Club Sport. In 2011, Stefan Korbach, a German investment banker and millionaire, was involved in the most expensive car crash in history. He was driving a $2.2 million Pagani Zonda F Club Sport, one of only 25 in the world, when he lost control of the car on an Italian highway. According to reports, Korbach was racing down the highway at an incredible 198.8 miles per hour when the car spun out of control and hit a guardrail. The impact was so severe that the car lost a wheel, overturned, and collided with a Mercedes before coming to a stop against the guardrail on the opposite side of the road. Korbach's license was revoked, and he was lucky to escape with his life. He was driving the car with a 21-year-old lady passenger who also miraculously escaped unharmed. Despite the fact that the car had no airbags, both Korbach and his passenger were able to walk away from the crash unscathed thanks to the car's incredibly safe structure. Next up is the story of a supercar owner who took his 2006 Bugatti Veyron for a swim. 2. Bugatti Veyron. The car was owned by Andy House, an exotics dealer from Houston, Texas, who bought it in October 2009 as part of his inventory. While driving on a Texas road, House was next to a lagoon when he saw a pelican flying towards him. In a split second, he swerved to avoid the bird, but ended up plunging into the lagoon. The car was submerged in water, but House was determined to save his precious ride. He left the engine running, hoping to keep the car from flooding. Unfortunately, the car was beyond repair. The engine sucked in a bunch of salt water, and the car was totaled. House tried to file an insurance claim, but the video footage of the crash showed there were no birds in sight. The insurance company rejected his claim, leaving him to deal with the consequences of his actions. But first up on our list is the accident that occurred at Goodwood Revival in 2017 that turned into a nightmare for one driver of a rare 1964 Ferrari 250 GTO 64 Series 2. 1. Ferrari 250 GTO. The sound of the impact echoed through the air as the multi-million-dollar car collided with the tire barrier. The driver, Andrew Newell, was helpless as he watched his precious car careen off the track, narrowly avoiding a collision with another rare Ferrari. Newell was attempting to overtake a 250 LM just ahead of him, but the LM braked mid-corner, forcing Newell to aggressively swerve around it and hit the grass. From there, he was simply a passenger in an out-of-control fortune. The entire right side of the GTO was destroyed in the process. It was a moment that reminded everyone in attendance of the true dangers of racing and left them with a newfound appreciation for the beauty and fragility of these classic cars. So, what do you think is the reason that causes most of the accidents? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like this video, click on the link on the screen to watch our previous one about the most expensive car crashes in the world.